Hi everyone, and Dragon with you. So today that's part 2 of Julius' adventures, and today we'll talk about what he can do actually. So first of all, let's move to his max stats, and that's it. So I prepared a compilation from Daniel's live stream. So in general, Julius is a protective and assault tank at the same time. So his first ability provides a defensive matrix to absorb all damage. As you can see, defense from everything kind of, and we have in total 240,000 capacity plus some healing for characters. So it means not just defense, but kind of extra healing for your characters. But you can just add those numbers and compare them to, for example, Astaroth's shield, but Astaroth's shield defends only from physical damage. Second is surround himself with an energy shield that absorbs all damage. So this time we have lower shield capacity, but at the same time, when this shield is received by allies, the effect also helps your allies. So it means if it is not destroyed over 5 seconds, the remaining shield is copied into each ally, which is multiplication of the shield, which you can see here. The third ability allows to get even more, so Julius keeps protecting allies who removed the shields, and we have armor and magic defense bonus for 1.5 seconds. So actually, what I want to highlight here, all negative effects are removed, and they gain bonus armor and magic defense, which means Julius can help you against teams which perform stun, charming effects, etc. So kind of works as chorus partially and at the same time extra defenses. And finally, he boosts the speed of attacks and skills for each active shield for 10%, which means you can gain a nice boost for the entire team from Julius. And also as a tank, he has strength and magic defense. So it means this tank is based on defending your team from kind of all the damage which exists, and at the same time cleaning the negative effects, at the same time boosting the speed. It's like having Horus, Marsa, and Astaroth together. But at the same time, if we compare him to Astaroth, then kind of we have a little different extra abilities. So unlike Astaroth, he keeps boosting his team. Astaroth burns the opponent. Also about the bonuses. So bonus stats from Ascension rank 5 are provided here just as a tank, but with extra physical attack at the same time. And as for the role branch, you see that we also have typical tanky things, plus magic attack and physical attack. So remember that Julius refers to physical attack when talking about his abilities, which means he really needed it. And same you can see about these glyphs. So we have physical attack and crit hits. So Julius is able to crit. And his stats look kind of impressive for now. So he's a new hero. He doesn't have like super many skins. But at the same time, if you max him, he looks kind of impressive. So that's what I wanted to show you about Julius's basic stats. I can compare them, for example, with my current Astaroth, which isn't maxed, obviously. But let's just compare the stats of those two characters and what we can have here. So, talking about Astaroth, he has slightly more health because of the skin, probably. He has significantly more armor than Julius, and at the same time, more magic defense, right? But Astaroth is a defensive tank, unlike Julius. So Julius isn't as greatly defended as Astaroth, as you can see from his stats. But at the same time, Julius tries to attack the opponent, which means his physical attack and crit hit chance look more than Astaroth. Okay, so now about abilities. Let's compare what we have about skills. So I compare with Astaroth because that's one of the best tanks now. We have 65,000 solid defenses, but only from physical damage, which means Astaroth can be played against physical teams nicely, but he doesn't really protect from mages and pure damage. So that's what I want to highlight. So it depends on who you fight against, obviously. Next, we have burning the energy, which is useful for the team to survive. Also, he tries to protect your ally, transferring physical damage, once again, physical damage. And last word resurrects with 88,000. So in total, Astaroth is able to resurrect a hero. You see that mine isn't maxed, so I still need to work on one of his skins with magic attack, which means he still have a potential to get even more. But even as you see now, his stats are pretty impressive. The problem of Astaroth is that actually he does not help against mages, and he is vulnerable to mages. If we compare him to Julius, then you see that Julius's second ability already performs 100,000 shielding. First one gains kind of 240,000 shielding, and looks like that's much more than Astaroth can offer, right? So probably Julius gives you better defenses in general. Okay, so now let's move to the tests. So the tests were kind of tricky, and let's check the guild battles. I performed a testing for the Hero Wars Secrets team, which he told us one of the meta teams for Julius. As you can see, not all of my tests were successful. I won 3 games out of 20. But as you can see here, so Julius isn't used as a damage dealer. So his crit hit chance stat, maybe in the future he will give more damage, but in general, the main problem of all that is Ishmael. So Ishmael goes crazy with his X4 crit potential. Also, he is defended with Marcus, who doesn't allow me to finish him in time. And we have extra shields from Judge, obviously defenses from Julius and Fafnir, and that's what makes Ishmael really hard to remove here. So during my testing, I found several teams which kind of removes this. So just as we see, Julius was not the damage dealer, and probably not the main problem here. If you check how the fight went, so that's max testing, auto, probably on manual I would be better. So what happens? Check this out. So Astaroth needs to hold Ishmael. Julius needs to hold Yasmin. Does Julius hold Yasmin? Oh, I'm not sure about that. You see that he can hold for some time, but he's already dead, so no Julius anymore. My team is still alive. But what happens next? So Julius isn't here. At the same time, the remaining team is good enough to kill everybody, because Ishmael has a huge potential of dealing damage with super crits, but even my Yasmin with Kane can't finish him in time. That's the problem. Yasmin is vulnerable to mages. We have a mage here which kills him. And as you can see, Julius is dead for a long time, and kind of it wasn't the main idea. Also, you see that I tried some magic combos that didn't work as well. But when we went to Kark, that fight was really nice. Kark removed the enemy. And that's the setup which is played on Guild War on the server sometimes. So I just tried to use exactly the same idea. So we need to debuff the opponent as hard as possible and not let him do something serious. First of all, the idea of picking Jorgen was just to block the enemy. Check this out, so we have some stuns around. Now we have block, which means he can't do what he usually does. That's what I actually need. So if we manage to block Ishmael or silence or stun him, whatever, or just get here, then the enemy team loses defense. It means it gets more vulnerable. While Ishmael isn't really life-stealing as crazy, we have a chance to remove this. So a simple energy block from Jorgen allows me to be much more effective. I can't gain any more energy, and that means he will be in his life which means we can remove this. That's it. So this time Ishmael could do nothing, and that's a card pack. So that's the first option how you can counter. Now other tries, so with Amira and stuns it didn't work. Lars Krista neither. Ishmael kills everybody. Same stuff here. Dante, I tried the Dante crit team with dodge, but as you can see that wasn't a super great idea. Anyway, look what happened here. So remember I told you that Astaroth is a good defender against physical damage. Actually Julius is too. Ishmael is almost dead, but then the madness starts. So immunity from Marcus results into Ishmael lifestealing as crazy. My Astaroth tries to hold here, but actually Dante also receives damage. Now what happens? Dante tries to remove the opponent, but can't do that because the defense is too great for the right team, which results in just killing every single character on the left. So we managed to remove two, but that's not good enough. Victory of Jew. So let's check how it worked. The idea was really simple. I try to shield my team with Astaroth as usual. Then we have a combo which hits the back line, but at the same time, we need to survive ourselves. So it's kind of Jew versus Ishmael. See what happened here. And as you see, Julius is already gone. So Julius is no more. The rest of the fight will be about Jew versus Ishmael. It looks like Jew kind of the back line. So now we have buff Nebula, not even Jew. At the same time, Jew just kicks the entire enemy team. Here we go. So that's how it went. Jew just removed everything. So if we compare the damage, you see that Sebastian also helped with some pure damage here. And in general, it was Jew versus Ishmael, and Jew won this fight. Okay, so now we have many defeats. I tested some stuff. I will not show that. I will just show you my last idea. So the last idea was to get exactly same team, but with Astaroth. No, check this out. We have tank. Astaroth is great against physical damage. The new Julius tank is useful against all kinds of damage, right? So let's see who is better. Just exactly same stuff, but Astaroth versus Julius. So what can we say about that? Let's see how the fight went. Ishmael's trying to hit each other. And what we see. So Julius is already dead, and my team is just completely alive. That's what I wanted to say. So in some situations, you can fight with Astaroth instead of Julius, and you will have exactly the same result. You see that even the patronage was exactly the same. And at the same time, Astaroth is great against physical damage, and this team is based on physical damage from Ishmael. Okay? So great thanks to HW Secrets for sharing his team about Julius. Also, you can check his original video, so I will leave a link below mine. And I hope you can find nice allies for Julius. So in case you play Astaroth, if you fight against mages or pure damage, I would really say that Julius is probably a better choice. So that's what I think. But at the same time, we have Rufus, who is effective against mages, and he doesn't die from pure damages. So maybe you need Astaroth and Rufus instead of Julius. Who knows? Okay, so thank you for watching. See you in my next videos, and good luck to you.